Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you have enjoyed the 3-day weekend. We're going to go over the market. I'm going to give you my game plan for this week. I'm also going to go over some amazing swing ideas, swing and long-term ideas. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you would like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below the video. Also, you will see the list of watches that I'm going to go over with you in the description. If you have any questions for us, please reach out, info@t3live.com. And if you find benefit in today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. First, the market. As you can see, the market is back to the prior highs. It's bullish. I can't say it's bearish at all, but it's not the same market that we had before, meaning the market we had, we bottomed in October, late October, through, let's say, the end of the year. That was a superbly bullish market. This is a little bit different, and I can't exactly tell you how it's different, except to say there isn't as much follow through. So from October through the end of the year, we had amazing follow through. I routinely had 50 plus positions in my account, and I know that was a lot, but when it's good, I push it. I always do. And now I feel like it's slowing down a little bit. Maybe the IWM is the culprit. Notice the IWM is showing weakness. It's not moving. It's not back up at the highs like the SPY and the Qs is. So maybe if we move back up, break out above the base, possibly. But until then, I would be a little bit cautious. Again, the SPY and the Qs, there's no way I can tell you they're bearish. They're not. But the IWM is a little bit weak, and I think without participation from the IWM, we will continue to see lack of follow through on the individual plays, on the individual stocks. So take it easy. That's my suggestion. In terms of the ideas, here's the bullish ones. We got ACMR. I thought about doing it on Friday of last week as a 1, 2, 3. I didn't do it, and it worked. I mean, it popped. Now it still looks good. Notice the hourly base, the hourly chart. That looks pretty good. So over the highs, stop under 2017. And since this is a transition A on the weekly and the monthly, I think this looks good long term. The ACMR. ARM is a daily buy setup. The entry for it would be over this bar's high. And so that would be over 71.87. Stop under 68.19. I tried the ARM a couple times, and I noticed that every time it breaks out, it doesn't follow through easily. So this is not one of the ones that I have an order for, but I will be watching it. Okay, I will be watching it. BTCT, I know nothing about it, but it looks like it's Bitcoin related, and it's the only Bitcoin stock that held up pretty bullishly, that didn't crash. We saw what happened to Mara, Riot, Coinbase, you name it. They all crashed. In fact, Bitcoin, I have the chart of Bitcoin in the background here. This might be one of the biggest. This last week's bar. This is the weekly chart. This might be one of the biggest. What do you call it? Range expansion topping tails I've ever seen. I mean, it's one of the biggest I've seen. So Bitcoin, if it breaks under last week's low, I suspect that it will end up breaking under this weekly base, which is at 40,000, and will head back down towards that rising 20, which is about 36,000 at the moment. So this is a pretty bullish, bearish topping pattern in Bitcoin developing. So the only stock that is Bitcoin related that's staying bullish is the BTCT. But also more on Bitcoin. Notice how Bitcoin got sold when finally the ETF, the spot ETF that everybody wanted, came to fruition, right? In fact, not one, not two, not three, 11 spot ETFs were approved. So buy the rumor, sell the news. It's worked on Wall Street throughout history. And in fact, if we look at BITO, which is not a spot ETF, it follows the futures market for Bitcoin. Notice how it topped out immediately upon when it went public, or when it was approved. And so why? Because that was, again, tops set bottoms. I mean, good news sets tops. Bad news usually leads to bottoms. So if the stock is down a lot and gets the worst news possible, well, guess what? That's the worst that it's going to get. It usually bottoms out. And the same way when it's good news, the stock is up a lot, and finally the company gets really amazing news. Well, that's the best it's going to get. And so it ends up being the top. So that's why I often say that good news sets tops and bad news often leads to bottoms. Or in this case, buy the rumor, it was working, and sell the news. Yours truly didn't sell the news though, unfortunately. I wish I can say I did. So I'm gonna have to trail my Bitcoin position. I didn't sell it, but we'll see. Moving on to CHGG, which has a weekly transition A breakout. I like it. It just needs to break out, and if it does, I'll be in it. In fact, first entry could be just over 1112, stop under 1045, 1047, and then the next entry would be over 1150 on the CHGG. CSX is a daily base breakout, so over the base, stop under it, looks beautiful. Okay, we got a couple of long-term ideas here in the DDOG, DataDog. What a great name. Just for the name alone, it's worth a shot. I'm kidding, but it does look good on the long-term chart. Check out that monthly 1, 2, 3. So there's the monthly breakout bar, the narrow range bar, and if we take it out, it should go back up to the prior highs here. I mean, at least to 150 or so, maybe all the way to the prior high. The DataDog looks very much like the shop. The shop is a bit more bullish or has more room, but shop also looks good if you're not in. In fact, one can play the DataDog, the shop, and the Spotify off the weekly chart. No, the weekly on shop doesn't have a narrow range bar, does it? No, they don't. But the daily looks good. Let's take a look. So the DataDog looks pretty good over the base. Stop. So back to the daily. Over the base, stop under this little shelf here. So it would be under 118, and then the entry would be above the highest point, 125. Let's just say it's 124. 70 it looks like on the DataDog. On the Shopify, I thought it had a weekly 1, 2, 3. It doesn't. So it triggered already last week. It has a monthly 1, 2, 3, which also triggered. So at this point, it's a little bit late. It's already an open position in the newsletter, but it's not too late, I think, to jump in over 83.20. You just have to give it to $70, 70.60 as the stop. And Spotify, over the highs, it triggered on Friday, but it's not too late, over 204, 204.25, let's just say, by 192.35. All three of them look higher long term, and so does the TWLO, but the TWLO daily is messy. It doesn't look good. Look at the TWLO monthly. I mean, my goodness, does this look good. It just needs to take out last month's high. Now, if we wait for it to take out the highs, it'll be too late of an entry, so another way to get in it would be on that hourly buy setup over 74, stop under 72.90. So that's $1.10. I'd give it to maybe 72 or 72.50 before stopping it, but it would be over $74 on the TWLO. So TWLO, Spotify, Shopify, and Dogify and DataDog. Those they all look good long term. Okay, there are a lot of other really amazing long-term stocks, some of which I'm already in. The newsletter is already in, but some, so some are late. Like, this looks really, really good. The Guild, IBM looks really, really good. Even Snapchat looks good. Look at the monthly on the Snapchat. There's a lot of lot of stocks that look good long term right now, but some of them don't have any good entries because the entries are already too late, or they haven't set up quite yet. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out over the next couple months. Next on the list is GLD, that's gold. Gold is back to the rising 20, reclaimed it. So I like it higher. There's an hourly buy setup if you want to try. A little bit aggressive, but I like GLD higher. There's, you know, we have RGLD in the newsletter as a position. There's an hourly buy setup on it. There's GOLD, looks pretty good also, I think. There's a few gold stocks that look okay. The HWM is an hourly base breakout, so it would be over the highs, stop under the lows on the hourly chart. The ISRG has a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4. So bar 1, that's the breakout bar, that's 1, 2, 3, the narrow range bars, and then if we take out the highs of both bars 2 and 3, that would trigger the 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern. So I like it higher over 368. It's 360. I'm sorry, 367. So it's over 366.80. Call it 367. Stop under 357. So it's a $10 stop. That looks good. Microsoft also looks good over the all-time high. So it would be over 390.68. Stop under 380.38 on the Microsoft. Shopify we talked about. These last three we already talked about. The shorts. We have AEHR really weak. It triggered on Friday, but it's not too late. Under 17.28. Stop over 19.25 on the AEHR. The EL, I played it long, I don't know where exactly, but got out of it, and now has a weekly sell setup. Not too bad. I like that weekly chart. It's just that rally was a little bit strong, so it'd be short under 133 by 139.40 and target the prior lows. It really will depend on what the market ends up doing. If the market ends up getting sold, this will work. If not, because of the strong rally, then it won't follow through. Forward looks like it's going to go backwards here. Looks bearish. Short under 55, stop over 57.67 on the forward is an hourly base breakout. MDRX is a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the daily. Looks beautiful. Under 920, stop over 955 it looks like. MPW, the same. A gap under a long-term base. Looks lower under the lows. Stop over 369 on the MPW. OPI 1, 2, 3, but the first bar was a little bit oversized, so I'm gonna wait for another narrow range bar like we see on the ISRG. So if it gives me 2 narrow range bars, then I will look to play the OPI. With 1, I think it's a little bit suspect. It's a little bit more aggressive. Otherwise, 359 would be the entry. Under 359, stop over 403. The RELL is a 1, 2, 3. Short would be off the hourly chart under 1020. Stop. This is not bad. Stop over 1067. So that's not bad at all. And then Skin is a weekly sell setup, very similar to the EL, except I like it a little bit more than the EL because this is weaker. You see how it never reached the 20 MA on the weekly versus EL went above it. So which one is better? This is weaker. This is better. So that's a Skin. And VTNR, I bet you that's off the daily chart. It's actually off the hourly. It's a breakout failure right here. You see that attempt to go higher and then failed. So under the base, stop very tight above it. The only issue is that it's down a lot of bars in a row. I always like it when the base is straight, is flat. It's not slanted, and this is a bit slanted, but it looks good. I mean, the weekly is a 1, 2, 3, so it looks good. And that is the end of the list for today. If you are in the Strategic Swing Trader program, you can log on to your T3 Live account, go to customer portal. You already have access to the list of stocks that I picked for tomorrow. Obviously, I'm not gonna go with every single symbol that I reviewed in this video, but the final list, the final picks is published already. You'll get the email by about 7:30 a.m. Giving you a couple hours before the market open, but if you want to access the newsletter, it's already available in your customer portal. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. Again, if you found benefit, be sure to hit the like button. If you have any questions for us, we're here to help. info@t3live.com. I wish you all the best with your trading this week. Take care, everybody. Ciao.